Now I got the understanding the why in the Old Testament people are carried around in this kind of sense of prosperity and abundance, like typically, especially Abraham. Especially he's a man full of cattle and sheep, and he owns a lot of possessions, and he lived a long, good life, long, ripe life unto death. Right, so, but he's truly severely tested as well. He's a man of great faith. And then you look at Isaac and Jacob. They're basically rich men, etc. But the 3 generations after that, things go into havoc. A lot of problems. And then you come the King David, who established the greatest kingdom on earth in history, literally, because God is really with him. And he lived a huge abundance, but his heart is really for God. But the problem came with his son Solomon. He had everything in life, but he had hundreds and hundreds of concubines, and that destroyed him. He fell into disgrace and sin and cut off from the kingdom of God, sadly. Okay, so that's what, in spite of that, but generally, and also the promises in the book of Psalms, etc., talk about you shall eat of the abundance of the land, and you shall inherit the land, and all these things, because God's abundant promises, it almost seems very contradictory to what Paul's life, for example, carrying his body the death of Jesus. He got persecuted, perplexed. I mean, he got knocked out. He got severely persecuted, but he was not knocked out. He suffered tremendously, gone through a lot in life, and yet he sustained and carrying his body the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may be manifested. Now let me conclude here. I believe the New Testament has so much sufferings because the New Testament has such a glory, manifested such the huge glory, the most glorious moment when Christ died and suffered on the cross and he rose from the dead. That was absent in the Old Testament. Old Testament didn't have that. So there is no picture of sufferings per se. But in the New Testament there is, because Jesus suffered so much. And with that suffering, he had the greatest glory. No sufferings, no glory.